Guys, I promised you some online development, and this might be a little bit above the young guys, but if you can count numbers, you can kind of follow along. And I promise some age-appropriate, age-friendly programming for both the young quarterbacks that we have and also the older ones. Um, this is a film or tape of an inside run period. This is of the DC Divas. I don't know if you've ever seen women professional football players, but that's what we have here. It's called inside run because it's only a run period, and we're literally working on the runs that are inside. We're filming it from the sideline because you can get a better view of the blocking and how defenders are defending and taking on blocks. The first thing I want to do is kind of count numbers. Equating numbers is a big part of football, and understanding them is a big part. So right now, the offense is in white. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's actually a fullback right here. And we are playing with the tight end. The tight end is located over here. When you have a tight end on the line of scrimmage, there are actually 7 run gaps that the defense has to defend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And those are the gaps that have to be defended. And that's why you hear a lot of defenses come in combinations of 7, 4, 3, 3, 4, 5, 2. Now, how the defense deploys itself, they use a description of what they call a technique. And that's how they get lined up to do it. And so the techniques, one basic system for techniques is anytime a player is anytime a player is lined up directly head up on a player, that's an even number, right? So it starts with the center. Lined up directly on the center would be a 0. Lined up on this guard would be a 2. Lined up on this guard would be a 2. This would be a 4 over here on the tackle, and a 4 if they were lined up directly head up. The spaces in between the offensive players, these are odd numbers. So starting on this side, that should be a 1. We've got a person lined up here, there's a 3. If there was a person here, that'd be a 5, and so forth. So let's go over how they're lined up, and these things matter. Starting here, we have a person who's not quite lined up in the gap. They're lined up kind of in the gap and kind of on the person. That's called a shade technique, and there's a specific reason that they do that. So there's a 1 technique there. There's nobody over top of the guard, nobody between the guard and the tackle. That would be a 3. Nobody over top of the tackle, that would be a 4. And then we have a defender here. So we have this side, we have a 1 technique. I'm sorry, a 5 technique and a 1 technique. Going left on the left side, there's nobody in the 1 technique gap, nobody head up on the guard, but we do have a person in a 3 technique. This would be 1, and this would be 3. Nobody head up over the tackle, nobody between the tackle and the tight end. And on tight end alignments, these systems get kind of funny in how they do things, but basically, I'm just going to tell you, there's 2 different systems. I'm going to cut to the chase. In the DC Diva nomenclature, this is a tight 9, okay? So that's how they're lined up. And then we looked at, that's how they're deploying their 4 defensive linemen. So we look at them defensively. Do they have all 7 gaps covered? And they do. This is taking care of that gap. It's got that gap right in front of her, gap right here. This 1 shade, I'll explain that in a little bit. This backer here and this backer here. So this is what we would call a gap sound alignment. Now, this stuff is important to know because a lot of times in understanding what defenses want to do, the fact that this 1 isn't just a 1, it's a 1 shade, kind of gives you an idea of what they're defending. They're kind of hedging toward this way, toward the tight end. That's really the determinant. And when you're analyzing defenses and what you might want to do to them, it's very important to understand that stuff. Now, I'm going to go over with you a little bit of our blocking scheme to give you an idea of why the details from the quarterback position are extremely important. This play is going, this particular run play is running to the left, okay? And I want to show you how we block it. So we start by, in our run plays and divas, determining what is play side and what is backside. So since there's a 1 shade here, we're considering everything to the left play side, and that matters. I'll show you why. So what's going to happen is that this center is going to make what we call a ace call, and that's going to call the guard in, and they are going to work to double team this one technique. The fullback, where I pointed out earlier on this particular run, is going to block the linebacker. This guard and this tackle are making what we call a deuce call, and they're going to quick combo to this backer. That leaves a tight end, a solo block, leaves a solo block back here, and that means that there's one defender that's unblocked. Well, that one defender, the linebacker here, is the person that the quarterback is supposed to block or take care of by carrying out a boot fake and going this way. This defender's responsibility, as you will see through the play, is to play anything counter coming back this way or reverse. And so you'll watch this player throughout the play just kind of shuffle, 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 because she's playing that technique. And again, I'm using she because this is a women's professional football team, all right? So we're going to watch the backside and why it's important for you as a quarterback to understand the details of what's going on. So as we go forward here, we can see everybody getting into their blocking scheme. Now, we have a solo block back here, just like we described. Real good block, solo. We've got a great double team on the one. The fullback is working the way to the backer, and we're going to have a quick combo here. This tackle is going to come off and get this linebacker, and we've got a solo block here. So again, everybody's accounted for except for the backer. Now, there's a couple different ways this could be blocked. We could get a push on this one technique and a quick combo and cut off and block that. But this one technique is big and strong and is a problem. So on this particular run, we decided to leave this double team intact, and the design of the play is for the quarterback, again, to handle this linebacker by carrying out the fake. But as you're going to see, the quarterback doesn't carry out the fake, doesn't handle the linebacker, and as strange as it may seem at this point, this is the person who winds up making the play. So I'll show you just a little bit further how this blocking develops. We'll go forward just a little bit more. Right, we can see the blocking scheme get up there, and we'll go a little bit more, and boom, the play is developed. Right here, let me go back just a little bit, and we can see. Right here, we'll see the tackle here coming off this block, making the quick combo. The center and the guard have really taken care of this one technique. The fullback is getting there. Again, these people are really blocking their behinds off here. But you're going to watch the guard here come off and get that quick combo. The tackle, I'm sorry, get the quick combo. And as she does that, this is what all running backs like to see, is this thing right here, an alley or a seam, and there's nothing but green grass. The problem is that the quarterback is looking at the play. That means that this person doesn't have to defend. This person can now turn their eyes totally to what the running back is going to do. And you'll see how that plays out if you keep your eyes on the running back. The running back makes a great cut. She gets her left foot in the ground, bang, cuts right up through that hole. And now the linebacker knows, because the quarterback is standing here, the linebacker knows that's where the play is going, and that's where the linebacker goes and makes the play. Boom. Gets called. Nice little run, but that's where the linebacker tagged off and made the play. All right, so a little bit maybe much for the young guys, but you can count numbers. You can begin to understand about alignments. The main point here is from a quarterback position. It is important. You are involved in the run game, and carrying out fakes is extremely important. And you could see just in the practice scene that the quarterback not carrying out their responsibility resulted in maybe a 5-yard gain and what could have been a touchdown when everybody else did their job. I'll get you some more of this programming in the future, and I'll give you more clips of the DC Divas. And just a little side note here, we had a celebrity appearance at this practice helping us out. If you're a Georgia Dog fan or a Redskin fan, that's Kedrick Golston, who attended the University of Georgia and played 11 years for the Washington Redskins. So hope you guys are staying safe, and hope this makes a little sense to you. My price for doing this, guys, is if you view it, give me some feedback. Shoot me a text and say, Coach, that was great. Coach, I didn't understand that. Can you ask me a question? But I really want your feedback if you watch this, okay? Thank you very much.